Hello YouTube, Joe back again. This time I'm going to do a little something just to, again, kind of wrap up the 200. But I'm gonna revisit spines 1 through 100 in what I like to call the Criterion Collection Reflection Series, Volume 1, spines 1 through 100. Reflection, recollection, what have you. I got my little halo going on right now. But yeah, I'm gonna try to go through these. So basically, I'm just gonna do like one-liner reviews, or a recollection of how I still feel about these films I watched a while ago. Some up to 3 years ago. So yeah, I'm just gonna start off with number 1, Grand Illusion. I thought it was amazing, highly entertaining, good introduction to Renoir. Number 2, Seven Samurai. Not my favorite Kurosawa. I know people would hate me for that, but I know it's a classic and it's masterful, nonetheless. But it's just not one of my favorites. Number 3, The Lady Vanishes. I remember it being pretty good, not too memorable for me as far as Hitchcock goes. Number 4, Amarcord, a very fun Fellini film. Lots of quirky moments, like kind of little vignettes that kind of tying together. It's one of my favorite Fellinis that I've seen so far. So, yeah. Number 5, The 400 Blows. Everyone needs to see this French New Wave classic. And then by seeing this, it's very, very fun to go and watch the other Antoine Doinel films. Fantastic. Number 6, Beauty and the Beast. It's enchanting. It left a lasting impression on me. I love this film. It's one of my favorites. Number 7, A Night to Remember. It's an amazing telling of the Titanic. Powerful, and I really can't imagine how powerful it was when it was released. It's very good. It's the Titanic, but better than the new one because there's no love story. I don't know. It's more. I feel like it's a little more historical, possibly. Number 8, The Killer. Freaking awesome action. Number 9, Hard Boiled. Again, just as good as The Killer. Solid action films. Excuse me. Number 10, Walkabout. Kind of avant-garde-esque moments in it. I enjoyed it though. It's unique. I love Nicholas Roeg. R.I.P. Number 11, The Seventh Seal. Not a favorite Bergman of mine, but still great. Very existential. It's a staple. Number 12, This is Spinal Tap. Sorry, I'm not actually... I don't really like this film that much. I know it's a classic comedy, and it seems like everybody loves it but me. But yeah. Number 13, Silence of the Lambs. Flawless. Number 14, Samurai 1. Alright. It's forgetful. 15 Samurai 2. Also forgetful. 16 Samurai 3, also forgetful. I'm sure they were fine when I watched them, but yeah. 17, Solo. Oh, Solo. I gotta revisit it. Honestly, I should. Number 18, The Naked Kiss. I missed this film. I liked it. I actually have this on Blu-ray, so I should read. It's one of the. It might be the first Criterion I ever intentionally bought and watched. Number 19, Shock Corridor. Didn't like Shock Corridor as much. That's all I can say. 20, Sid and Nancy. Great performances. Solid Alex Cox film. I'm really happy they upgraded it. Great Gary Oldman. Fantastic. 21, Dead Ringers. I love this film. One of my favorite Cronenbergs. Possibly my favorite. 22, Summertime. I wasn't really a fan. Never loved Katharine Hepburn too much either. Sorry about that. 23, RoboCop. RoboCop's awesome. I love the gore. It's surprising for the type of film that it is to have that kind of gore. But yeah, I'd buy that for $1. 24, High and Low. It's an amazing Kurosawa film. Suspenseful throughout the entire thing. 25, Alphaville. Excuse me. I remember it being pretty pretentious, honestly, which makes sense because it's a Godard film. Sorry. Not saying every Godard film is kind of pretentious, but this one is, in my opinion. Not my favorite. 26, The Long Good Friday. Slightly forgetful, but good. Good acting. Helen Mirren was in that. 27, Flesh for Frankenstein. Freaking weird and awesome. I wish it was in print, 28, Same goes for Blood for Dracula. Yeah, 28 Blood for Dracula, sorry. I remember this being slightly worse than Flesh for Frankenstein. It was still good, though, but I remember the part when Dracula sucks up the blood from the loaf of bread. That really stuck with me. It was, churning. Stomach churning. What we got here? 29, Picnic at Hanging Rock. Boring. Cinematography does not make up for the Snorefest. That is this film, sorry. I'm just not a fan. 30, M, one of the best early 30s films ever, will forever be an essential foreign classic, always. 31, Great Expectations, maybe it has to do with David Lean films, but I just didn't love this one that much. Same with 32, Oliver Twist, also didn't love it, not a fan, but I understand the importance, of these films. I'm just really bad with 40s British films. It's just, I don't know, it's a weak point for me. 33, Nanook of the North, great early documentary, outstanding for the time. 34, Andrei Rublev. Sorry, Tarkovsky. This one's too much for me. Maybe too long. It kind of puts me to sleep. I respect it. I understand Tarkovsky, but not really one of my favorites. So 35, Diabolique. Fantastic film. Need to watch it again. Maybe I'll have it. Maybe I'll own it one day. 36, Wages of Fear. I love Wages of Fear. Most suspenseful film ever, possibly. Ever made. 37, Time Bandits. Quirky, early Gilliam work. Not my favorite Gilliam, but very ambitious and unique. 38, Branded to Kill. Very interesting film. You gotta love Suzuki. Kind of a chic gangster film. Very interesting. 39, Tokyo Drifter. Same thing with Tokyo Drifter. Slightly more boring maybe, but I love the art of this film. It's worth a watch. It definitely interesting. I like the color. The color in it is really nice. 40, yeah, it's Armageddon. It's early Michael Bay. There's something to say about that. The huge production and all, but in the end, this is Hollywood trash. I prefer The Rock over this. The movie The Rock. 41, Henry V. You gotta love Olivier, but again, 40s British films, and I never mix. I also sometimes find Shakespeare a little boring. It's depending. I'm not the intellectual that some of you are. 42, Fishing with John. It's a fun little series. I enjoyed every little episode. Not too eventful of a show, but the guests on each episode keep you interested, That's along with John. 43, Lord of the Flies. I really did not like this adaptation. I remember it doing nothing for me, so oh well. 44, The Red Shoes. Red Shoes is beautiful, but I can't see myself watching it again anytime soon. 40s in British again, sorry. Can't deny it is one of the most beautiful Technicolor films ever shot. 45, Taste of Cherry. I absolutely love this film. Simple yet highly entertaining, great dialogue. Great conversations. 46, The Most Dangerous Game. Gotta love this classic. Also short and sweet. It's nice. 47, Insomnia. It's a hidden gem. Amazing Stellan Skarsgård film. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend that. 48, Black Orpheus. Beautiful film, unique, cultural. It's a classic. 49, Nights of Cabiria. It's very humorous and entertaining, Fellini. I know many people love this one. 50, and the ship sails on. You don't see this one getting much love, but I actually really liked it. I might have liked it more than Cabiria. 51, Brazil. It's an amazing production, one of a kind, but again, not one of my favorite Gilliam films, interestingly enough. I've seen it like 3 times now, and yeah, I keep going to it thinking I'm going to get more out of it, but I don't. 52, Yojimbo. It was alright. I don't hold these classic Kurosawa samurai films on any sort of pedestal. 53, Sanjuro. Same with this. These pretty much go hand in hand for me. It's good character, but I don't know. It's just not very memorable for me. 54, For All Mankind. Holy smokes, what a great documentary. I mean, if the moon landing was faked, then wow, they did a great job with the fake footage in this documentary. No, but seriously, this should be shown in every elementary school ever. Kids need to see this. It's great. 55, The Unbearable Lightness of Being. I did not like this film. I didn't like the story. I know it's off a book, but yeah, I didn't like it. Hated the characters and the dialogue. Meh. 56, The 39 Steps. Kind of the same vein as The Lady Vanishes. It was good, but not too memorable as far as Hitchcock goes. 57, Charade. It's a fun film. Casting is a little odd with the age gap, but whatever. It's a classic. 58, Peeping Tom. Dare I say overrated? 59, The Night Porter. I really like this film. I love the Eastman color tone of the film. Great and depressing story. Unique film. More than just a Nazi exploitation film. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's... I don't know what it is. I have a soft spot for that film. 60, Autumn Sonata. Powerful performances. Great cast. Small cast, but great. Beautiful Bergman film. Maybe too bourgeois for me, though, if that makes any sense to people. 61, Monty Python's Life of Brian. This is a fun film, full of good humor. That's all I can say about that. 62, The Passion of Joan of Arc. Classic, shot so innovatively for its time. Drier can be dry, haha, but the film definitely holds up, at least for me. 63, Carnival of Souls. Another overrated one for me. Did not enjoy it at all, sorry. I don't even understand its relevance, really. I don't really get how it was such a leader of what it did. 64, The Third Man. Is so good. Everyone already knows this, but yeah, it's just a good story to follow and shot so beautifully, so freaking classic. You know, the crisp black and white in this film. It's just mwah. 65, Rushmore. Love Rushmore, but it does not compare to a few other Wes Anderson films for me. So in the end, overrated in comparison to Anderson films like The Royal Tenenbaums or Darjeeling Limited or even Bottle Rocket, but the production is fantastic. It's a good film, but in comparison to those, not as good. 66, the Orphic Trilogy. The trilogy as a whole is a little odd. 67, The Blood of a Poet. Blood of a Poet it's a little too experimental for me. Interesting for its time, but not entirely for me. 68, Orpheus. I do love Orpheus. It's mystical and super cocteau. Beautiful with great performances. I would definitely go and watch this if you haven't. 69, Testament of Orpheus. This one didn't do it for me. I understand it's a more personal film. Great cameos. I think Picasso was even in this. Overall, not my favorite, but it has good moments and some really good dialogue. Pretty avant-garde. 70, The Last Temptation of Christ. And this wasn't the best Scorsese, in my opinion, but it's good enough. 71, The Magic Flute. Too boring for me, but that doesn't mean others would or do love it. I'm just not too into operas, even a Bergman film adaptation of one. I think this would be better to see on stage, you know, which is kind of like the movie, but it is interesting that it's kind of like it's still like a stage film. It's like a film, but it's like a stage opera, you know, but it has film elements involved, so it's really interesting, but not really my favorite. It's kind of boring for me. 72, Les Millions. I remember liking this one, but don't remember too much of it. 73, Cleo, from 5 to 7. This one has its moments. I would like to watch it again. I like Agnes Varda, of what I've seen. 74, Vagabond. Vagabond was good too. Not as good for me because I didn't like the main character. Made me not enjoy the film as much, but it's a very real story. 75, Chasing Amy. I hated this Kevin Smith film. It's pretentious and I hate the story. Just no. 76, Brief Encounter. This one's alright. It's a little slow for me. I understand it's a major classic, but the 40s British film's curse strikes me again. I'm not saying David Lean isn't a fantastic director. I just don't like his films that much. This is alright, I guess, though. You know, it was okay. 77, And God Created Woman. I like this film. It's a frustrating film. If you've seen it, maybe you know what I mean. 78, The Bank Dick. Bank Dick was alright. It has its moments. Not the biggest W.C. Fields fan, which brings me to 79, W.C. Fields' 6 short films. Don't crucify me for it, but I'm not the biggest, fan. I mean, W.C. Fields was innovative, first time, comedy, some say genius, but I find at least these short films do not stand the test of time for me. 80, The Element of Crime. Slightly bizarre, ambitious for a debut feature film by Lars von Trier. Its tone and atmosphere is unique and masterful. People get sick of that like sepia vibe, but I really like it. It's a great early von Trier film to observe. 81, Variety Lights. Not the best Fellini. It's an early one of his. Actually, it might be his first, I believe. I think it's even co-directed, but it doesn't hold up for me. Boring. 82, Hamlet. Another Olivier Shakespeare adaptation. I will say that what I said before, I like and respect Olivier, but not my thing and boring for me. 83, The Harder They Come. I remember being pretty entertaining, but I expected more from that one. 84, Good Morning. It's a fun Ozu film. It's loving and humorous. Family-based, like many other Ozu films. It was good. 85, Pygmalion. It was alright. Not much to say. It was forgetful. 86, The Eisenstein Sound Years. I cannot get into Eisenstein with these. 87, Alexander Nevsky. Call me a hater, call me a fake cinephile, but these just didn't do it for me. 88, Ivan the Terrible, same as Alexander Nevsky, you know. It's hard. It's hard to please me with stuff like this. 89, Sisters. Sisters was cool. It's a great Brian De Palma film. Creepy story. I want to watch it again. Glad it got an upgrade. Maybe I'll have it one day. 90, Qui-Gon. I thought I would enjoy it more than I did. It's cool stuff, but hard for me to get through like all 3 hours of this. It just doesn't. It didn't hold me like I thought it could. 91, The Blob. It's a classic. I would like to check out the 80s version. I think it might be even better. I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. 92, Fiend Without a Face. So this is a fun little horror classic out the same year as The Blob. I liked it even more than The Blob, maybe. It was fun. 93, Black Narcissus. Another overrated one for me. The Technicolor and production was fantastic, I can't lie, but that is about all I liked in this one. The story was and again, don't hate me. 94, I Know Where I'm Going. Boring for me. I don't have a good track record with these Powell and Pressburger films, you know. 95, All That Heaven Allows. I really like this one. One of the most beautiful Technicolor films. I love the look of this one, seeing all the different seasons. It's a great love story and pushed some boundaries. It was outstanding. 96, Written on the Wind. I couldn't get into this one as much, surprisingly. I know this is a classic also, but yeah, I just couldn't get into it. 97, Do the Right Thing. I have my reasons for not liking this film. Nothing else to really say about it. 98, La Ventura. It's a beautiful film, super unique, and while many people could view it as boring and dragging and meaningless, it is much more, and it is a true original. It's stale yet enticing. 99, Gimme Shelter. An amazingly sad documentary film, defining. I guess you could call it a documentary. It's just kind of a brief point in the Rolling Stones' career. It's more about the concert and what happens. 100, Beastie Boys video anthology. I gotta love the Beastie Boys. What else can I say? Very interesting spine to be included in the collection as well. Very interesting entry. So that's all, folks. Thanks for watching this. Not much else to say. I'm already jumping into watching the next films. I'm already completed watching 201 through 205, so expect a video shortly. Other than that, have a good one. I'm happy if you watch this. I appreciate it. And have a good one. Bye-bye.